On this planet, there are regions where natural conditions extend far beyond the limits familiar to humans. From deserts that burn with extreme heat and salt lakes stretching to the horizon, to towering mountains and deep valleys that remain isolated from the rest of the world. Some of these landscapes were formed by active volcanoes, enormous cave systems, powerful rivers, and waterfalls of extraordinary scale. In many of these places, temperature, terrain, and climate create environments where survival becomes extremely challenging, from polar cold to desert heat exceeding 50 degrees Celsius. This is a journey into the most extreme corners of our planet, where nature reveals its power and diversity on a scale rarely seen anywhere else. Abraham Lake. On the Alberta Plateau, Abraham Lake reveals a surreal sight each winter, when frozen layers of crystal-clear ice trap thousands of methane bubbles beneath the surface. Created in 1972, after the construction of the Bighorn Dam on the North Saskatchewan River, this artificial lake stretches about 20 miles and has become one of Canada's most striking winter landmarks. The phenomenon occurs as methane gas from decaying vegetation rises from the lakebed and becomes trapped within the freezing ice, forming stacked white columns that resemble frozen sculptures. A hidden element lies beneath the ice. Shifting pressure and temperature cause the gas pockets to move slowly, generating ever-changing natural patterns. Abraham Lake stands as a living example of nature's ability to merge science and beauty into a single, frozen masterpiece. Danakil Depression. Located in northeastern Ethiopia, the Danakil Depression is one of the lowest and hottest places on Earth, where geology and natural energy combine to create a landscape that feels almost extraterrestrial. Situated about 410 feet below sea level, it was formed by the divergence of three major tectonic plates. Across its surface, salt flats, acidic springs, boiling pools, and sulfur fields glowing in orange and yellow form a striking geothermal scene. A hidden element lies beneath the crust, a network of lava channels and underground lakes where scientists have discovered microorganisms capable of surviving extreme conditions. The Danakil Depression stands as a living record of Earth's formation and a natural laboratory revealing the boundaries of life in hostile environments. Erta Ale volcano. Rising from the arid Danakil Desert, Ethiopia's Erta Ale stands as one of the few volcanoes on Earth with a continuously active lava lake. At about 2,010 feet above sea level, it has maintained persistent volcanic activity for decades, earning it the name the Gateway to Hell. The lava surface constantly shifts, with glowing streams spilling through fissures and reshaping the crater's rim. A hidden element lies deep below the surface, a network of magma channels linking multiple chambers, making Erta Ale a natural window into Earth's inner processes. Both a challenge and a revelation, this volcano embodies the restless energy that defines our planet. Angel Falls. Hidden deep within Venezuela's Canaima rainforest, Angel Falls holds the title of the world's highest waterfall, dropping nearly 3,212 feet from the summit of Ollantaytambo into the clouds below. The water originates from mountain streams that merge on the plateau before plunging almost a kilometer, creating a mist that blankets the valley. When strong winds shift, the cascade drifts upward, giving the illusion of a waterfall suspended in mid-air. A hidden element lies within the constant spray, a microclimate formed by the endless vapor, sustaining humidity and an isolated ecosystem around the base. Angel Falls stands as both a natural wonder of South America and a testament to the enduring power of water, gravity, and time. Lençóis Maranhenses National Park. Stretching across more than 600 square miles in northeastern Brazil, Lençóis Maranhenses National Park is one of the most extraordinary landscapes on Earth, where desert and water coexist. Between January and June, seasonal rains transform the white dunes into thousands of turquoise and emerald lagoons, creating the illusion of vast linen sheets draped across the sand. As the winds shift, the dunes move and reshape the lagoons, which reappear each year in new forms, yet never truly disappear. A hidden element lies beneath the sand, a thin, impermeable clay layer that traps rainwater, sustaining the lagoons through the dry season. Lençóis Maranhenses stands as a perfect balance of natural forces, a place where opposites meet to form a beauty unlike anywhere else. Huashan Plank Walk runs along sheer granite cliffs in China as a narrow wooden pathway anchored directly into vertical rock faces. The route lies above 6,500 feet in elevation, where tectonic uplift and long-term erosion created near vertical mountain walls. Wooden planks are secured into drilled rock sockets, transferring load to the solid granite foundation. With its exposed construction and direct attachment to bedrock, Huashan Plank Walk serves as a clear reference for studying human access solutions in steep alpine terrain. Aogashima Island is defined by a younger volcanic cone formed inside an older collapsed caldera. Rising to roughly 1390 feet, the island records multiple eruptive cycles within a confined space. Vertical cliffs mark the outer rim, highlighting collapse and erosion processes. Ongoing geothermal signals point to residual subsurface activity. Together, these features make Aogashima Island a clear natural model for understanding nested caldera systems on oceanic volcanoes. Dead Valley lies within a closed desert basin in Namibia as a dry clay pan formed when ancient surface water was cut off by shifting dunes. The flat white floor consists of fine clay sediments deposited during brief flooding phases and later isolated by sand movement. Preserved dead camel thorn trees mark the period when stable water once supported vegetation before evaporation dominated. Surrounding dunes rising hundreds of feet act as barriers that limit moisture return and airflow. With its clear material contrast and intact processes, Dead Valley serves as a practical reference for studying desert basin evolution and extreme aridity. Vatnajökull Glacier. Covering nearly 8% of Iceland's surface, Vatnajökull Glacier is one of Europe's largest ice masses, where ice, volcanoes, and time converge into a constantly shifting landscape. The glacier averages about 1,310 feet in thickness and conceals dozens of active volcanoes beneath its frozen expanse, making it a rare meeting point of fire and ice. When eruptions occur below the surface, escaping steam and meltwater carve turquoise ice caves that reshape themselves each season. A hidden element lies in the network of subglacial rivers beneath, where scientists monitor meltwater to study global climate change. Vatnajökull stands as both a national symbol and a living record of how Earth continues to shape its own story. Lake Natron. Located within Tanzania's Great Rift Valley, Lake Natron is one of the most extreme environments on Earth, where surface temperatures can exceed 140 degrees Fahrenheit and alkalinity is high enough to mummify animals. Its surface is coated with layers of salt and natural soda, forming vivid red, orange, and pink patterns under the sunlight. Despite its harsh chemistry, the lake serves as the only breeding ground for hundreds of thousands of lesser flamingos, nourished by mineral-rich mud and red algae. A hidden element lies beneath the crust. Geothermal springs releasing sodium carbonate and alkaline minerals that maintain the lake's unique composition. Lake Natron stands as a rare example of life's resilience in an environment where survival and desolation coexist in fragile balance. Atacama Desert stretches along the western edge of South America as the driest desert on Earth, defined by extremely low precipitation over extended periods. The region is positioned between high mountain ranges and a cold ocean current, creating a double barrier that prevents moist air from reaching the interior. Its surface includes rocky plateaus, salt flats, and barren valleys where measurable rainfall has been absent for centuries in some areas. Minimal biological weathering allows geological layers and mineral surfaces to remain sharply exposed across wide distances. Because of its stable aridity and clear natural processes, Atacama Desert serves as a key reference for studying extreme climates, surface evolution, and planetary analog environments. Kjerag Bolten rests high above a Norwegian fjord as a massive boulder firmly wedged between two near-vertical granite cliffs. The rock measures several feet across and sits more than 3,200 feet above the water below, creating a rare natural balance point. Its position was established when retreating glaciers deposited the boulder into a narrow crevice at the end of the last ice age. Smooth and steep surrounding rock faces display clear evidence of prolonged glacial abrasion. With its simple form and well-defined origin, Kjerag Bolten serves as a clear reference for studying glacial transport, mechanical erosion, and alpine landscape evolution. Mount Kailash rises in western China as an isolated high mountain with a near-symmetrical granite profile shaped by tectonic uplift. The peak reaches an elevation of about 270 feet, standing above surrounding terrain that eroded at a slower rate. Resistant igneous and metamorphic rock preserves steep faces and sharp ridgelines over long periods. Glacial valleys and erosion channels around the base record repeated freeze-thaw and ice-driven removal of material. With its exposed structure and clear geomorphic processes, Mount Kailash serves as a strong reference for studying high mountain evolution and uplift erosion balance. Kawah Ijen volcano. In the darkness of Java Island, Kawah Ijen glows with blue fire, a rare phenomenon caused by burning sulfur gases escaping from its vents. The crater spans more than half a mile across and holds the world's largest acidic lake, its turquoise color masking an extremely corrosive pH near zero. Each day, miners extract solid sulfur by hand, carrying loads weighing up to dozens of kilograms along steep volcanic paths. A hidden element lies beneath the crater, streams of molten sulfur that ignite upon contact with cool air, producing the electric blue flames that light the mountain at night. Kawah Ijen stands as a union of geology, chemistry, and human endurance, a living reminder of nature's beauty, balanced on the edge of danger. Kelimutu Crater Lakes sit on the summit of a dormant volcano in Indonesia as three closely spaced crater lakes known for their shifting water colors. The lakes lie at an elevation of roughly 5,200 feet, where volcanic gases and groundwater continue to interact beneath the surface. Variations in dissolved minerals, oxygen levels, and sulfur-rich gases drive changes in lake color over time. The absence of surface outlets allows chemical conditions within each basin to evolve independently. With observable color transitions and active subsurface processes, Kelimutu Crater Lakes serve as a clear reference for studying volcanic lake chemistry and gas-driven environmental change. Salar de Uyuni spans roughly 4,100 square miles on the Bolivian plateau at an elevation of about 12,000 feet, forming the largest salt flat on Earth after ancient lakes evaporated and left behind an exceptionally flat surface used to calibrate Earth observation satellites. Its surface is composed of tightly packed hexagonal salt patterns with an average thickness of several yards, strong enough to support heavy vehicles and pure enough to reflect intense sunlight during the dry season. Beneath the salt crust lies one of the world's largest lithium reserves, estimated to account for about a quarter of known global resources, giving the area strategic importance for modern energy storage technologies. During the rainy months, a thin layer of water covers the salt flat and turns it into a vast natural mirror, producing clear sky reflections that visually erase the boundary between ground and atmosphere. Through its scale, geology, and easily observable natural processes, Salar de Uyuni functions both as an extraordinary travel destination and as an open-air laboratory for climate science, geology, and remote sensing research. Dalol lies within a tectonic depression in Ethiopia as an active hydrothermal field driven by shallow volcanic heat. The area sits about 410 feet below sea level, where magma heats saline groundwater near the surface. Acidic springs, multicolored pools, and salt terraces form through rapid mineral precipitation of sulfur, iron, and salts. Extreme heat and minimal rainfall promote intense evaporation and chemical concentration. With visible magma-water interaction and ongoing surface processes, Dalol serves as a clear reference for studying hydrothermal systems and extreme geochemistry. Wangxian Valley. Located in southern China, Wangxian Valley is a geological formation shaped over millions of years by limestone erosion and tectonic shifts. It features vertical cliffs, waterfalls several hundred feet high, and dense forests covering the surrounding slopes, creating a rare, self-contained ecosystem. Streams run throughout the year through narrow gorges, forming an underground water network that scientists continue to study. A hidden element lies beneath the valley, a network of subterranean caves believed to hold rare minerals and traces of ancient geological layers. In its silence, Wangxian Valley stands as a destination for geological, climatic, and biological research, and as proof of nature's creative force through time. Skeleton Coast stretches along the Atlantic edge of Namibia as a harsh shoreline, where arid desert meets cold ocean conditions. The coast is strongly influenced by a cold offshore current that lowers air temperatures and produces persistent fog for much of the year. Sand dunes, gravel beaches, and exposed rock surfaces dominate the landscape, shaped continuously by strong winds and powerful waves. Prolonged dryness limits vegetation growth, leaving landforms and erosion features clearly visible. With its extreme setting and stable natural processes, Skeleton Coast serves as a key reference for studying coastal dynamics, ocean climate interaction, and desert shoreline evolution. Svalbard Archipelago lies deep within the Arctic as a remote island group where ancient geology, extensive glaciers, and extreme climate interact in a fragile natural balance. The archipelago covers more than 24,000 square miles of land, with most of its surface dominated by glaciers and permafrost formed under long-lasting low temperatures. Sharp mountain ridges, glacial valleys, and heavily indented coastlines clearly display the shaping power of ice on the underlying rock. Cold and dry polar conditions limit vegetation growth, exposing geological structures and sediment layers across wide areas. Because of its high level of preservation and minimal human influence, Svalbard Archipelago serves as a key reference for studying glaciology, climate change, and polar landscape dynamics. Landwasser Viaduct. Located in the Graubünden region of Switzerland, the Landwasser Viaduct is a highlight of the Rhaetian Railway, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Built in the early 20th century, the bridge is 446 feet long and 213 feet high, spanning the Landwasser Gorge with 6 curved limestone arches that connect directly into a tunnel carved into the mountain wall. The entire structure was built using natural stone without steel reinforcement, demonstrating the advanced engineering of its time. A hidden element lies in how engineers precisely calculated the curvature and compression forces of the stone to ensure train safety at high altitude. Today, the Landwasser Viaduct stands not only as a symbol of Swiss engineering, but also as a destination where visitors can witness the seamless union of nature and human design. Phong Nha Kebang National Park. Located in Quang Binh Province, central Vietnam, Phong Nha Kebang National Park is one of Asia's most significant geological regions, with limestone mountains formed over 400 million years ago. The area features more than 300 caves, many stretching for dozens of miles, making it one of the largest cave systems in the world. Inside are underground rivers, stalactites, stalagmites, and deep sinkholes, creating an extraordinary geological landscape. A hidden element of Phong Nha Kebang is its underground ecosystem, where species have evolved in complete darkness for thousands of years. With its primeval rainforest, subterranean rivers, and limestone mountains, the park serves as a natural laboratory and a lasting testament to Earth's endurance and creativity through time. Leshan Giant Buddha. Standing about 233 feet tall, it was begun in the 8th century during the Tang dynasty and took nearly 90 years to complete. A concealed element lies within its structure, an internal water channel network built by Bond to divert rainwater and preserve stability for over 1,000 years. Today, the Leshan Giant Buddha stands as both a spiritual landmark and a remarkable example of ancient engineering and sustainable design. Zhangjiajie and Tianmen Mountain. Located in Hunan Province, Zhangjiajie and Tianmen Mountain form one of China's most iconic sandstone quartz landscapes. More than 3,000 vertical pillars, each averaging 656 feet in height, were shaped over millions of years through erosion and weathering, creating a forest of towering stone columns. Dominating the area, Tianmen Mountain features a winding road with 99 sharp turns and a natural arch 430 feet tall, known as the Gate of Heaven. A hidden element lies within the mountain itself, a network of natural vents and underground chambers that regulate temperature and generate dense mist around the cliffs. The harmony between geology, climate, and ecology makes Zhangjiajie and Tianmen Mountain a natural monument where time, stone, and air exist in perfect balance. Meteor monasteries. Rising above the Thessaly plain of Greece, massive sandstone pillars serve as the foundations for the 14th century monasteries of Meteora. Six monasteries remain today, each built atop cliffs averaging 1,310 feet in height, constructed by hand, using ropes, pulleys, and wooden ladders in harsh conditions. Every stone was lifted piece by piece, reflecting perseverance and enduring faith across centuries. A hidden element lies within the rock itself, natural cavities once used by monks for retreat and for collecting rainwater during dry seasons. The blend of natural landscape and sacred architecture makes Meteora a symbol of harmony between humanity, stone, and faith. Banff National Park. When winter blankets western Canada in endless snow, Banff National Park emerges as a realm where ice and stone meet in silence. Established in 1885, it was Canada's first national park and the foundation for the country's entire conservation system. Spanning more than 2,550 square miles, it encompasses turquoise lakes, glaciers, valleys, and the snow-capped ranges of the Rockies. A hidden element lies deep below the ground, natural hot springs formed by ancient geothermal heat, still maintaining a stable temperature through the centuries. Banff stands not only for beauty and scale, but also as living proof of the bond between geology, climate, and life on Earth. Serengeti National Park. Each year, the plains of Serengeti in Tanzania host one of Earth's greatest natural events, the migration of over 2 million grazing animals across the endless savanna. Established in 1951, Serengeti National Park covers more than 5,680 square miles and remains one of the oldest and most intact ecosystems on the planet. Its alternating dry and rainy seasons drive a continuous migration cycle of wildebeests, zebras, and buffaloes, followed closely by hundreds of predators. A hidden element lies beneath the savanna, ancient basalt layers that retain moisture, allowing grasses to regenerate year-round despite harsh conditions. Serengeti stands as a living symbol of biological balance, where every species plays a role in nature's unending cycle of life. Mount Fuji. Rising 12,389 feet above Honshu Island, Mount Fuji is Japan's highest and most iconic peak. This near-perfect volcanic cone was shaped over more than 100,000 years through successive eruptions, layering ash, lava, and snow into its distinctive, symmetrical form. Each summer, hundreds of thousands of climbers ascend to its summit, where temperatures can drop close to freezing even on warm days. A hidden element lies deep within the mountain, a massive magma chamber that remains active, closely monitored by scientists for signs of future eruptions. Mount Fuji stands not only as a cultural and spiritual symbol of Japan, but also as evidence of the enduring connection between geology, belief, and human resilience. Mount Fuji. Rising 12,389 feet above Honshu Island, Mount Fuji is Japan's highest and most iconic peak. This near-perfect volcanic cone was shaped over more than 100,000 years through successive eruptions, layering ash, lava, and snow into its distinctive, symmetrical form. Each summer, hundreds of thousands of climbers ascend to its summit, where temperatures can drop close to freezing even on warm days. A hidden element lies deep within the mountain, a massive magma chamber that remains active, closely monitored by scientists for signs of future eruptions. Mount Fuji stands not only as a cultural and spiritual symbol of Japan, but also as evidence of the enduring connection between geology, belief, and human resilience. Avenue of the Baobabs. As the sun sets over western Madagascar, the massive trunks of the baobabs cast long shadows across the red earth, creating a landscape both ancient and surreal. Dozens of Adansonia grandidieri trees line an 850-foot stretch of dirt road, many over 800 years old and reaching heights of nearly 98 feet. Their swollen trunks act as natural reservoirs, storing water through months of drought. A hidden element lies deep underground, an intricate network of roots that draws moisture from the lowest layers of soil. The Avenue of the Baobabs endures as a living monument to nature's resilience and its ability to adapt to the passing of time. Amazon rainforest. Spanning over 2.1 million square miles across 9 South American countries, the Amazon rainforest is often called the lungs of the Earth, producing about 20% of the planet's oxygen. This vast ecosystem holds more than 390 billion trees from around 16,000 species and shelters roughly 10% of all known life forms on Earth. Its network of rivers stretches for tens of thousands of miles, regulating regional climate and sustaining the continent's water cycle. A hidden element lies beneath the forest floor, carbon-rich soil that stores immense organic matter, directly influencing the planet's climate balance. The Amazon rainforest stands as the largest tropical forest on Earth, a living system where land, water, and atmosphere function as one. Neuschwanstein Castle. Nestled in the Bavarian Alps of Germany, Neuschwanstein Castle appears as though it were lifted from a fairy tale, built in the late 19th century under King Ludwig II. Perched at an elevation of about 3,166 feet, it combines Romanesque and Gothic revival styles with over 200 rooms, only a fraction of which were completed before the king's death. Its white limestone walls and slender towers, mirrored against forests and snowy peaks, later inspired the famous Disney castle design. A hidden element lies within its structure, an innovative steel framework that allowed the castle to retain its strength and shape for more than a century. Neuschwanstein stands as a masterpiece of architecture, a symbol of the union between art, engineering, and human imagination. Santorini Island. Rising from the deep blue waters of the Aegean Sea, Santorini appears as a cascade of white houses clinging to volcanic cliffs, glowing like light above the sea. The island was formed about 3,600 years ago by a massive volcanic eruption that created a vast caldera, now filled with seawater in a crescent shape. Towns such as Fira and Oya sit more than 980 feet above the water, where whitewashed walls contrast sharply with the blue of the sea and sky. A hidden element lies beneath the surface, ancient layers of ash and lava that stabilize the cliffs and preserve the structures built upon them. Santorini stands as a Mediterranean icon, a place where nature's destruction became the foundation of enduring beauty. Los Glaciares National Park. In southern Patagonia, Argentina, Los Glaciares National Park unfolds as a frozen world, where mountains, lakes, and glaciers merge into one vast landscape. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the park covers more than 2,780 square miles and contains over 40 glaciers descending from the Andes, including the active and thunderous Perito Moreno Glacier. Lake Argentino, the country's largest, collects the floating icebergs that break away, its turquoise waters tinted by mineral-rich glacial melt. A hidden element lies beneath the mountains, an intricate network of subglacial channels that regulate pressure and control the slow movement of ice thousands of years old. Los Glaciares stands as both a natural wonder of South America and a reminder of the planet's slow but unstoppable rhythm. Godafoss Waterfall. In northern Iceland's volcanic region, Godafoss, the waterfall of the gods, marks the spot where the Skjálfandafljót River plunges about 40 feet over a semicircular basalt cliff. The cascade splits into several streams, pouring into a turquoise basin that fills the valley with mist. During winter, ice and snow transform the falls into a frozen wall of crystal, while in summer, glacial meltwater turns it into a vivid blue spectacle. A hidden element lies in the basalt bedrock itself. Ancient lava formations that absorb and reflect sunlight, subtly changing the water's color with the seasons. Godafoss stands as a symbol of Iceland's natural harmony, where fire, ice, and time converge in motion and light. Barringer Meteor Crater. In the arid desert of Arizona, the Barringer Meteor Crater stands as one of the best preserved impact sites on Earth. Measuring about 3/4 of a mile across and over 560 feet deep, it was created more than 50,000 years ago when an iron meteorite weighing 300,000 tons struck the planet at over 25,000 miles per hour. The layers around the rim reveal rock formations more than 700 million years old, compressed and uplifted by the impact's immense force. A hidden element lies beneath the limestone deposits, fragments of metallic meteorite that provide key evidence for studying planetary collisions in our solar system. Today, Barringer Crater remains both a symbol of cosmic power and a record of Earth's geological and celestial history. Pyramids of Giza. Rising from the Giza Plateau on the banks of the Nile, the pyramids of Egypt stand as enduring witnesses to a civilization that flourished more than 4,500 years ago. The three main pyramids, Khufu, Khafra, and Menkaure, were constructed from millions of limestone blocks, each weighing about 5,000 pounds, arranged with astonishing precision. Originally, their outer surfaces were covered in polished white stone that reflected sunlight, making them gleam like beacons across the desert. A hidden element lies within, a labyrinth of corridors and chambers, possibly aligned with celestial patterns and beliefs about life beyond death. The pyramids of Giza remain the last standing wonder of the ancient world, a monument to human intellect, engineering, and faith that defies the passage of time. Huanglong Valley. Set over 9,800 feet above sea level in Sichuan's Minshan Mountains, Huanglong Valley is known for its colorful terraces of mineral-rich pools cascading across white limestone. Over thousands of years, flowing water has deposited calcium carbonate, forming hundreds of pools that shimmer in shades of blue, gold, and emerald, depending on sunlight. The high-altitude climate preserves the clarity of the water, which mirrors the surrounding pine forests and sky, earning Huanglong the name the Heavenly Valley on Earth. A hidden element lies beneath the surface, a network of underground streams that feed minerals upward, maintaining the valley's vivid palette throughout the year. Huanglong stands as a living harmony of geology, water, and time, a natural masterpiece sculpted over millennia. Cenote Ik Kil. Hidden within the jungles of Yucatan, Cenote Ik Kil is one of Mexico's most remarkable natural sinkholes, formed when the roof of a limestone cave collapsed to reveal a pool nearly 130 feet deep. Vertical walls, draped in vines, roots, and moss, create a natural skylight that opens to the underground world below. The crystal-clear water, fed by underground currents, connects to a vast network of subterranean rivers that flow beneath the peninsula. A hidden element lies beneath the surface, an intricate system of underwater caves where groundwater circulates through limestone channels, keeping the cenote clear and thermally balanced year-round. Cenote Ik Kil stands as both a geological wonder and a glimpse into the ancient processes that shaped Earth's subterranean landscape. Mount Roraima rises to about 9,200 feet above sea level and is one of the oldest table mountains on Earth, with geological origins dating back nearly 2 billion years and sheer vertical cliffs exceeding 1,300 feet that sharply separate it from the surrounding landscape. Its summit forms a broad, nearly flat plateau covering dozens of square miles, where poor drainage creates shallow pools, rock channels, and heavily eroded sandstone surfaces shaped over immense spans of time. The vertical rock walls function as a natural barrier, isolating the summit from lower ecosystems and allowing unique plant species to evolve exclusively on the plateau. Weather conditions at the top change rapidly, with persistent cloud cover and frequent rainfall flowing directly over the cliff edges as free-falling waterfalls. Because of its extreme age, isolation, and clearly defined geological structure, Mount Roraima serves as a valuable natural reference for studying ancient rock erosion, biological evolution, and environmental isolation. Socotra Island emerges in the Indian Ocean as a geographically isolated archipelago whose separation from surrounding continents for tens of millions of years enabled a rare path of independent biological evolution. The main island covers about 1,400 square miles and is shaped by broad limestone plateaus, a central mountain range rising close to 4,900 feet, and a coastline continuously reshaped by monsoon winds and marine erosion. More than 1/3 of its plant species are endemic, showing clear structural adaptations to arid climates, nutrient-poor soils, and irregular rainfall patterns. Seasonal monsoon systems restrict access for extended periods each year, naturally limiting human activity and preserving large areas in a near undisturbed condition. Through its isolation, visible biodiversity, and intact natural systems, Socotra Island functions as a key open-air reference for studying island evolution, ecological adaptation, and long-term climate influence. Jiuzhaigou Valley unfolds as a high-altitude mountain valley in southwestern China, where layered terrain, lakes, and waterfalls develop through long-term geological and hydrological processes. The area sits at an average elevation of about 6,500 feet, featuring a chain of stepped lakes connected by short streams that display shifting watercolors caused by mineral content, depth variation, and lakebed structure. Natural travertine deposits form biological dams that regulate water flow and maintain stable lake levels throughout the year. A cool mountain climate, combined with dense forest cover, preserves exceptional water clarity while reducing surface erosion. Through the interaction of geology, freshwater systems, and vegetation, Jiuzhaigou Valley serves as a clear reference site for studying alpine ecosystem dynamics and freshwater landscape formation. The wave emerges from the desert landscape of the United States as a sculpted sandstone formation shaped by ancient sand dunes and millions of years of erosion. The structure is built from finely layered sandstone, displaying flowing bands of red, orange, and yellow that record shifts in mineral content and environmental conditions over time. Rising several dozen feet above the surrounding terrain, its smooth, curved surfaces reveal the combined effects of persistent wind action and infrequent but intense rainfall. Sparse vegetation and arid conditions leave the rock fully exposed, allowing clear observation of its internal layering and surface contours. With its distinctive form and clearly visible geological processes, the wave serves as a concise, natural example for studying sediment deposition, desert erosion, and long-term landscape transformation. White Desert stands out in western Egypt as a landscape of white limestone formations shaped by wind erosion over millions of years rather than shifting sand dunes. The area is composed mainly of chalk and limestone deposited on an ancient seabed, later uplifted and sculpted into pillars, arches, and mushroom-shaped rocks. Many of these formations rise several feet to over 60 feet high, with smooth yet sharply defined surfaces created by constant abrasion from wind-driven sand. Extreme aridity, minimal rainfall, and large temperature differences between day and night allow mechanical weathering to dominate and preserve rock forms for long periods. Because of its clear geological origin and slow rate of change, White Desert serves as a practical reference for studying wind erosion, ancient marine environments, and desert rock landscape development. Plitvice Lakes National Park extends across a limestone mountain region of Croatia as a tightly connected freshwater system shaped by constant interaction between geology, water flow, and biological activity. The park contains 16 naturally stepped lakes, positioned at an average elevation of about 2,000 feet, linked by a network of short streams and cascading waterfalls. Travertine barriers form as calcium carbonate precipitates with the assistance of algae, mosses, and microorganisms, gradually reshaping lake edges while preserving overall system stability. Continuous water movement and dense forest cover maintain exceptional water clarity by limiting sediment input. Owing to its visible formation processes and long-term balance, Plitvice Lakes National Park serves as a clear reference for studying freshwater landscape evolution in temperate forest environments. Pamukkale rises on a western Turkish plateau as a bright white system of travertine terraces formed by mineral-rich thermal waters flowing for thousands of years. Hot groundwater emerges along geological faults, carrying high levels of calcium carbonate, which precipitates on contact with air and gradually builds solid stepped pools. The terrace field extends for more than 1 mile, with shallow basins arranged in sequence where slow water movement controls terrace shape and thickness. Water temperatures remain close to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, allowing continuous mineral deposition and maintaining smooth, reflective stone surfaces. With its clearly visible formation process and stable structure, Pamukkale serves as a natural reference for studying hydrothermal activity, mineral precipitation, and limestone landscape development. Antelope Canyon takes shape as a narrow slot canyon in the desert of the United States, carved entirely by flash flood erosion acting on sandstone over thousands of years. In many sections, the canyon narrows to only a few feet wide, while vertical walls rise more than 100 feet, creating a deep enclosed passage. Smooth, curved rock surfaces record repeated episodes of fast-moving water mixed with fine sand that gradually sculpted the canyon interior. Sunlight enters from above at steep angles, forming visible light beams that reveal internal sediment layers and rock texture. With its clear formation process and compact scale, Antelope Canyon serves as a direct reference for studying slot canyon erosion, flash flood dynamics, and sandstone landscape evolution. Tsingy de Bemaraha forms a deeply dissected limestone plateau in western Madagascar, where long-term chemical weathering created a dense forest of sharp rock pinnacles. The protected area covers more than 600 square miles and consists of ancient marine limestone uplifted and gradually dissolved by rainfall. Individual stone towers rise several dozen feet high and are separated by narrow vertical fissures that channel water downward rather than across the surface. Limited surface drainage concentrates erosion within fractures, producing an uneven but persistent sculpting process. With its scale and clearly exposed karst structure, Tsingy de Bemaraha serves as a strong reference for studying limestone erosion, karst evolution, and ecological adaptation in extreme terrain. Lake Hillier appears along the southwestern coast of Australia as a compact salt lake with a permanent pink color that contrasts sharply with surrounding forest and deep blue ocean. The lake measures roughly 2,000 feet in length and is separated from the sea by a narrow strip of sand and vegetation, while maintaining extremely high salinity due to limited water exchange and strong evaporation. Its distinctive pink coloration results from salt-tolerant microorganisms and natural pigments that thrive in hypersaline conditions. The water retains its color even when removed from the lake, indicating a stable biochemical composition. With its defined scale and clearly identified processes, Lake Hillier serves as a practical reference for studying hypersaline lakes, microbial ecosystems, and extreme environmental adaptation. Marble caves emerge along a glacial lake in southern Chile as a system of marble caverns carved entirely by water erosion over immense geological time. The marble bedrock, formed hundreds of millions of years ago from ancient marine carbonate sediments that were later uplifted and exposed to fresh water. Continuous wave action and seasonal water level changes smooth the rock into arches, pillars, and curved chambers with clearly defined surfaces. Interior colors range from white and gray to deep blue, caused by light reflection from the lake and the purity of the marble itself. With visible formation processes and stable conditions, marble caves serve as a practical reference for studying water-driven erosion, carbonate geology, and long-term rock-water interaction. Horseshoe Bend appears as a near-perfect river meander carved into sandstone by long-term water erosion in an arid plateau environment of the United States. Over millions of years, the river incised deeply into the rock, forming a horseshoe-shaped curve enclosed by steep canyon walls. The vertical drop from the rim to the water below reaches about 1,000 feet, highlighting the dominance of downward erosion under dry climatic conditions. Exposed rock layers along the canyon walls clearly display sedimentary history and geological structure. With its clear form and visible processes, Horseshoe Bend serves as a practical reference for studying river erosion, meander evolution, and canyon landscape development. Rano Kau crater appears as a massive volcanic bowl on a remote Pacific island, formed by ancient basaltic eruptions that shaped a near-circular depression. The crater measures roughly 1 mile across and reaches a depth of about 650 feet, with steep inner walls enclosing the basin. With its clear structure and preserved geological features, Rano Kau crater serves as a strong reference for studying volcanic crater evolution and lake sediment development. Cappadocia Fairy chimneys rise across central Turkey as cone-shaped rock pillars created by selective erosion acting on soft volcanic tuff. The landscape formed from thick layers of ash and tuff deposited by ancient eruptions, later capped by harder rock that slowed erosion at the top of each column. Over long periods, wind and rainfall removed the softer material around these caps, leaving pillars that reach from several feet to more than 130 feet in height. Gentle valley slopes and a semi-arid climate help preserve the sharp outlines and spacing of the formations. With its clear structure and visible processes, Cappadocia Fairy chimneys provide a concise reference for studying volcanic tuff erosion and long-term landscape evolution. Torres del Paine rises from the windswept Patagonian landscape of southern Chile as a granite mountain complex shaped by tectonic intrusion and prolonged glacial erosion. The iconic towers reach elevations close to 9,200 feet, formed when magma cooled beneath the surface and was later exposed by ice and weathering. Surrounding U-shaped valleys, glaciers, and glacial lakes clearly record intense ice activity during past climatic periods. Steep relief and a cold, moist climate favor mechanical erosion, preserving sharp rock faces and exposed geological structure. With its clear geomorphology and active natural processes, Torres del Paine serves as a strong reference for studying mountain building, glacial erosion, and subpolar landscape evolution. Lake Baikal occupies an active continental rift zone in southern Siberia, forming the oldest and deepest freshwater lake on Earth through long-term tectonic separation. The lake extends over 390 miles in length and reaches a maximum depth of about 5,400 feet, holding nearly 20% of the planet's unfrozen surface fresh water. Its basin is structured as a deep fault-bounded trench, indicating that slow crustal extension is still shaping the lake floor today. Exceptionally clear and cold water supports biological communities adapted to deep and stable conditions. With its age, depth, and ongoing geological activity, Lake Baikal serves as a key reference for studying rift lake formation, freshwater evolution, and deep water ecosystems. Halong Bay extends across northern Vietnam as a vast marine karst landscape where thousands of limestone towers rise directly from calm coastal waters. Covering more than 580 square miles, the bay developed from ancient limestone, uplifted, and gradually dissolved under long-term exposure to seawater and humid tropical climate. Individual rock towers reach heights from several dozen to over 300 feet, with steep bases and clearly visible stratified structures. Narrow channels, partially flooded caves, and enclosed lagoons record ongoing interaction between sea level and limestone terrain. With its scale and well-preserved karst forms, Halong Bay serves as a key reference for studying tropical marine karst and coastal landscape evolution. Mulu Caves lie beneath dense tropical rainforest in Malaysia as an extensive limestone cave system shaped by long-term water-driven dissolution. The caves developed within thick ancient limestone, where weekly acidic rainfall infiltrated fractures and expanded them into vast underground passages. Several chambers extend for many miles and rank among the largest by volume worldwide, with high ceilings and wide cross-sections that expose layered rock structure. Underground rivers and seasonal water level changes continue to reshape the cave interiors while supporting steady growth of stalactites and stalagmites. With its scale and active processes, Mulu Caves serve as a key reference for studying tropical karst evolution and subterranean hydrology. Icefjord Ilulissat extends along the west coast of Greenland as a glacial fjord where massive ice blocks are continuously discharged into the ocean. The fjord stretches for about 25 miles and reaches depths of several hundred feet, carved by long-term ice flow into resistant bedrock. Large icebergs become trapped within the narrow channel, forming a dense and slow-moving ice system. Ice motion reflects the balance between inland ice accumulation and calving at the glacier front. With its scale and active ice transport, Icefjord Ilulissat serves as a clear reference for studying glacier dynamics and polar landscape evolution. Mount Bromo stands within a broad volcanic caldera in Indonesia as an active cone with an exposed crater that allows direct observation of volcanic processes. The volcano rises to about 700-600 feet above sea level and sits on an ash-filled plain formed by repeated eruptive phases. Its crater spans several hundred feet in diameter and continuously releases sulfur-rich gases and steam. Surrounding surfaces consist of fresh volcanic ash and sand with minimal vegetation, preserving eruptive features in clear detail. With its ongoing activity and accessible structure, Mount Bromo serves as a practical reference for studying eruption dynamics and volcanic gas behavior. Mount Bromo stands within a broad volcanic caldera in Indonesia as an active cone with an exposed crater that allows direct observation of volcanic processes. The volcano rises to about 700-600 feet above sea level and sits on an ash-filled plain formed by repeated eruptive phases. Its crater spans several hundred feet in diameter and continuously releases sulfur-rich gases and steam. Surrounding surfaces consist of fresh volcanic ash and sand with minimal vegetation, preserving eruptive features in clear detail. With its ongoing activity and accessible structure, Mount Bromo serves as a practical reference for studying eruption dynamics and volcanic gas behavior. Lauterbrunnen Valley lies within the Swiss Alps as a narrow glacial valley carved by thick ice during repeated Ice Age periods. The valley extends for about 5 miles and was cut deeply into resistant bedrock by moving glaciers. Near vertical cliffs rise almost 1,000 feet on both sides, forming hanging plateaus that feed numerous waterfalls. Meltwater and seasonal rainfall continue to shape rock surfaces through slow but persistent erosion. With its classic U-shaped profile and exposed geology, Lauterbrunnen Valley serves as a strong reference for studying glacial erosion and alpine valley formation. Wadi Rum spreads across southern Jordan as a vast desert valley shaped by tectonic uplift and long-term wind erosion. Covering more than 270 square miles, the area features towering sandstone and granite massifs rising sharply from a flat, sandy floor. Steep cliffs, dry canyons, and natural rock arches reveal selective erosion that removed softer material while preserving resistant cores. Red sand, formed from weathered iron, rich sandstone, dominates the valley surface under an extremely arid climate. With its scale and exposed geology, Wadi Rum serves as a clear reference for studying desert landform evolution and rock weathering processes. Glowworm caves form beneath limestone plateaus in New Zealand as a karst cave system shaped by groundwater dissolution and slow subterranean flow. Dense populations of bioluminescent insect larvae attach to the cave ceiling, producing steady blue light used for prey attraction in total darkness. Sticky silk threads suspended from the roof reflect direct interaction between cave humidity, air stability, and feeding strategy. With clear karst structure and specialized ecology, glowworm caves serve as a practical reference for studying limestone cave evolution and biological adaptation underground. Lake Tekapo lies in New Zealand's South Island as a large glacial lake formed when retreating ice left a deep basin dammed by moraines. The lake covers about 32 square miles and sits near 2,330 feet above sea level within a dry alpine interior. Its distinctive turquoise color comes from fine rock flour suspended in the water produced by glacial grinding. Sparse vegetation and open slopes reflect strong winds and low precipitation in the surrounding landscape. With its clear glacial origin and visible sediment processes, Lake Tekapo serves as a practical reference for studying glacial lakes and cold region hydrology. Bungle Bungles rise from the arid interior of Australia as a dense cluster of ancient sandstone domes shaped by long-term erosion. These formations developed from thick sand deposits laid down hundreds of millions of years ago and later uplifted and compacted. Each dome displays distinctive orange and dark gray banding caused by mineral variation and surface weathering processes. Individual structures reach heights of up to about 820 feet and are separated by narrow gullies that channel vertical erosion. With its clear sedimentary structure and slow landscape change, Bungle Bungles serve as a strong reference for studying sandstone weathering and arid landform evolution. Mount Taranaki rises along the west coast of New Zealand's North Island as a near-perfectly symmetrical stratovolcano shaped by repeated volcanic eruptions. The mountain reaches an elevation of about 8,300 feet and is built from layered lava flows and volcanic ash deposited over long periods of activity. Evenly sloping sides indicate uniform distribution of eruptive material, while rainfall and ice have only moderately dissected the surface. A circular ring of forest surrounds the lower slopes, marking a sharp transition in terrain and soil conditions. With its clear structure and preservation, Mount Taranaki serves as a strong reference for studying stratovolcano formation and cone evolution. Karijini Gorges. Cut through the Pilbara Plateau of Australia as a network of deep canyons carved into some of the continent's oldest rock. The gorges reach depths of around 330 feet, formed as water exploited fractures and gradually eroded hard iron-rich bedrock. Exposed rock walls display folded and fractured sedimentary layers that record early tectonic history. Seasonal streams continue to incise the canyon floors and create narrow pools within the rock. With ancient geology and active fluvial processes, Karijini Gorges serve as a clear reference for studying canyon formation in hard rock terrain. Huilin Karst spreads across southern China as a classic limestone karst landscape defined by dense clusters of steep-sided towers rising from low plains. The terrain formed as carbon-rich rainwater dissolved carbonate bedrock over long periods, leaving isolated rock pillars. Many karst towers reach heights of around 1,000 feet, showing dominant vertical erosion and rounded summits. Low basins and narrow valleys between towers reflect combined surface and underground drainage development. With its high tower density and active dissolution processes, Guilin Karst serves as a clear reference for studying limestone karst evolution and water-rock interaction. Lake Kendi lies in the Tian Shan Mountains of southeastern Kazakhstan as a freshwater lake created suddenly by earthquake-triggered landslide blockage. The lake sits at roughly 6,600 feet above sea level, formed when a massive rock collapse dammed a narrow valley stream. Rising water submerged a conifer forest, leaving upright tree trunks projecting through the lake's surface. Cold water temperatures slow biological decay and preserve submerged wood in clear condition. With its rapid formation and visible cores, Lake Kendi serves as a clear reference for studying landslide lakes and post-seismic landscape change. Perito Moreno Glacier lies in southern Argentina as a major Patagonian glacier that maintains a clear balance between ice accumulation and melt. The glacier extends for about 19 miles and reaches ice thicknesses of up to 820 feet as it flows downslope toward a freshwater lake. Its front forms an ice wall nearly 200 feet high, where frequent carving releases large ice blocks into the water. Continuous ice flow reflects internal deformation and basal sliding driven by gravity. With its stable dynamics and visible carving processes, Perito Moreno Glacier serves as a clear reference for studying glacier motion and ice mass balance. Batara Gorge opens in northern Lebanon as a massive karst sinkhole where surface water drains directly into an underground system. The shaft reaches a depth of roughly 840 feet, formed by long-term dissolution and collapse of layered limestone. A seasonal waterfall plunges through the cavity, crossing 3 natural rock bridges that reveal distinct carbonate bedding. With its clear geometry and active karst processes, Batara Gorge serves as a strong reference for studying sinkhole formation and vertical erosion in limestone terrain. Saklikent Gorge extends through southwestern Turkey as a narrow limestone canyon carved by long-term water erosion. The gorge runs for about 11 miles, with near-vertical walls rising close to 1,000 feet above the channel. Cold flowing water occupies much of the canyon floor, restricting horizontal space and emphasizing vertical incision. Layered limestone bedrock dissolves gradually, allowing fractures to widen and deepen over time. With active hydraulic processes and clearly exposed rock structure, Saklikent Gorge serves as a practical reference for studying limestone canyon formation and fluvial erosion dynamics. Mount Assiniboine rises within the Canadian Rockies as a sharply pointed peak shaped by tectonic uplift and intense glacial erosion. The mountain reaches an elevation of about 118.70 feet and is composed mainly of ancient sedimentary rock layers that were folded and uplifted during major mountain building events. steep faces and narrow ridge lines reflect deep glacial cutting that carved surrounding basins and hanging valleys. Seasonal snow, strong winds, and freeze-thaw cycles continue to sharpen rock edges and maintain the peak's angular form. With its exposed geology and clear glacial imprint, Mount Assiniboine serves as a strong reference for studying alpine peak evolution in the Rocky Mountains. Lake Bogoria extends within Kenya's Rift Valley as a shallow saline lake shaped by active tectonics and geothermal processes. The lake stretches for about 21 miles and sits near 1,350 feet above sea level, with water levels controlled by rainfall and intense evaporation. Numerous hot springs and geysers line the shoreline, releasing mineral-rich water and steam through deep crustal fractures. High salinity and alkalinity limit biological diversity but support dense growth of specialized microorganisms. With its direct link between rifting, geothermal heat, and lake chemistry, Lake Bogoria serves as a clear reference for studying inland saline lakes and earth crust heat exchange. Mount Nemrut rises in southeastern Turkey as a high mountain summit deliberately shaped by large-scale stone construction integrated with natural terrain. The peak stands at roughly 7,050 feet above sea level and is capped by a massive conical mound built from millions of broken limestone fragments. Around the mound stand monumental stone statues that originally reached heights of about 26 to 30 feet, arranged in alignment with the surrounding landscape. Strong winds, frost, and temperature extremes gradually fractured the statues, exposing their internal structure and material composition. With its isolated setting and clear interaction between geology and construction, Mount Nemrut serves as a key reference for studying stone architecture in high-altitude environments. Taksang Monastery clings to a near-vertical cliff in Bhutan as a mountain monastery constructed under extreme topographic constraints. The complex sits at an elevation of about 200 feet above sea level and stands nearly 3,000 feet above the valley floor on stable but fractured metamorphic rock. Buildings are arranged in stepped sections directly anchored into the cliff face, using compact foundations to distribute structural load. Strong winds and seasonal rainfall shape the use of sloped roofs, dense walls, and local materials to reduce weathering impact. With its clear adaptation to terrain and geology, Taksang Monastery serves as a strong reference for studying cliffside architecture and construction in high mountain environments. Ashima Ohashi Bridge, Japan. This giant bridge in Japan is actually a spectacular deception designed to manipulate the psychology of millions of people. It is pushed into the sky like a 15-story building, solely to give way for massive cargo ships to pass underneath. Stretching about 1 mile across the lake, this is the greatest rigid-frame concrete architectural block in the land of the rising sun. Ironically, the fatal danger here is not slipping backwards, but tourists suddenly braking hard to try and take pictures. Lake Sørvagsvatn appears on the Faroe Islands as the largest freshwater lake in the archipelago, positioned on a coastal plateau above the North Atlantic. The lake stretches about 2 miles in length and rests on ancient basalt formed by long-term volcanic activity. Along its western edge, cliffs nearly 130 feet high drop directly into the ocean, creating a strong visual contrast between lake and sea. The apparent illusion of a suspended lake results from gentle inland slopes and restricted viewing angles rather than a large difference in elevation. With its clear structure and preserved setting, Lake Survagsvatn serves as a practical reference for studying coastal basalt landscapes, marine erosion, and visual perception in natural terrain.